Thanks very much, Sophia. Well, next up we've got Leon Mckenzie at super middleweight.
6 rounds of boxing in the super middleweight division. Please welcome your first fighter to the blue corner, Scott Douglas.
Well, Scott Douglas, 36 years old, similar age to Leon Mckenzie. 4 fights, 1 win, 1 defeat, and 2 draws so far. One in his debut against Jamie Norkett, over 4 here in June 2009. Then lost over 4 to Stephen Hughes a month later, and since then he took a big break out of the ring. 5 years out of the ring until September this year, when he came back with a couple of draws, one against Jordan Joseph and another just a couple of weeks ago against Mohamed Mustafa. So Scott Douglas still on the comeback trail, really, seeing what he can achieve, seeing what he can get out of boxing.
Seen this guy box a couple of weeks not long ago. He's really slick and awkward. Makes it difficult. I think he's going to he'll definitely come to win tonight. It's not a foregone conclusion, this one.
Well, Leon Mckenzie, his background is familiar to most people who follow football closely. A former professional footballer, of course, now 36 years old, 5 fights, 4 wins and 1 draw. Trained by his dad, Clinton Mckenzie. Great boxing stock in the family, of course. British and European champion Clinton Mckenzie, nephew of Duke Mckenzie, 3-weight world champion. He's got the mindset and the mentality of a professional sportsman. He has done from day one, and when you're starting afresh in any sport, Darren, really having that kind of background, I'm sure should help him. He's certainly brought a lot of support. Went to see him in the gym at Dulwich Hamlets FC a week or so ago. He's fighting for a Masters title on March the 14th here on another Steve Goodwin show.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, here we go. This one's scheduled for 6 rounds of boxing in the super middleweight division. Introducing first, boxing out of the blue corner, wearing black and gold trunks. This man brings with him in the boxing ring record of 1 win, opposite 1 defeat, and 2 draws. He stands 5 feet 10 inches tall. He weighed in 11 stone 10 pounds. Fighting out of Chatham, United Kingdom, here is Scott Douglas. And his opponent, boxing out of the red corner, wearing the red and gold trunks. This man brings with him into the boxing ring record of 4 wins, opposite no defeats and 1 draw. He stands 5 feet 9 inches tall. He weighed in 12 stone 6 ounces. Fighting out of London, England, here is Leon Mckenzie. And the national major referee in charge is Rob Chalmers.
The referee with his final instructions. Team Big MK have brought plenty of fans here tonight. Very active in support of Leon Mckenzie. Final embrace with his father and trainer. And he wants to move as quickly as he can in professional boxing, Mckenzie. The obvious parallels are there to be made with Curtis Woodhouse, but the difference is that Curtis really gave up professional football at the age of 26 to dedicate himself to boxing. Leon has started in the last couple of years, boxing out of that southpaw stance. He's trying to reach in with the jab and let go with that backhand.
He started fast. You know, I don't think he wants to go the distance here by the looks of it. Just started coming out for some really sharp combinations. Lovely jab, lovely southpaw jab.
Even though people say about Leon, he's been in the football line, which is right, obviously. But what people forget is his family are fighting stock. He's been around boxing his whole life. He can dig a bit, Leon, and he can box a bit. He's an all-rounder, you know, and he's getting on a bit, but he lives the life. He's always in the gym. He lives the life well, eats well, eats clean. So you know, you see the results of that. What the results of that can do. Look at Bernard Hopkins, you know, 50 years age, still fighting. Obviously, it's a bit of a different situation, but live the life right, and you can go as far as you want, and he lives the life and he loves the sport.
Well, he started well here, just trying to back Douglas up behind that southpaw jab. Comes back in behind the left hand as well. He's sparred James DeGale in the past. He admits that DeGale is the only fighter really who's hurt him.
He's been up our gym at Lansbury quite a bit, doing a bit of sparring as well. And like I said, he is impressive, Leon. Once he gets going and starts letting his hands go and really starts letting his shots flow, he's a good fighter. He can really put them together.
Well, he was in the gym for a year before he had his first professional fight, so didn't make the changeover from football to boxing immediately. No amateur background, but as you've been saying, Danny, he's been around boxing for all of his adult life, really. Used to go and watch his father fight.
Mckenzie's are a massive family in boxing. Clinton and Duke, they've been around the game for years and years. So it's like you said, even though he's not, he might not have had amateur fights and done things like that, you can bet your bottom dollar that he's been in the gym around his family and putting the gloves on and watching fights. So it's not alien to him, it's something that probably comes quite natural to him.
He looks like he can punch as well. I think he's hurt Douglas a couple of times when he's landed clean. He works well off of the southpaw there. He's got a lovely jab.
The one draw on the record came against Darren McKenna. That was in his third fight. It was a messy fight. Douglas is trying to get his head on Mckenzie's shoulder and work on the inside if he can. Bell goes for the end of the first round. Good solid round for Leon Mckenzie. You look at this super middleweight division. Southern area champion, currently Frank Buglioni, who fought on the undercard of Fury Chisora a couple of weeks ago, picked up another win, got back his WBO European title as well. English champion, of course, at the moment, Callum Smith. I saw on the Border Control website a couple of days ago that a defence against Lee Markham for him has been put out to purse bids. I'm not sure whether that would happen or not. Smith, you would say, having captured that English belt, Darren is looking
100%.
Above that level.
Yeah, without that, I mean, he's one of the richest prospects in world boxing, I'd say, not just in the country. He's a fantastic talent. The way he's handling his opponents, stopping them, knocking them out, and just absolutely schooling them. He's in a league of his own. And as far as if you're still going to class him as a prospect, he's in the league of his own, I think.
I don't think anyone in Britain will really be wanting to go for Callum Smith. No, everyone's saying they're mandatory for certain titles and things like that. I think you've got to have something wrong with you if you want to fight Callum Smith, to be honest. He looks like a beast. But Leon's said to me a few times that he would really like that fight with Buglioni from the southern area. And I think with Steve, that's a fight that can possibly be made.
I think Leon's still a little bit off the pace as far as that fight's concerned.
Definitely.
I mean, when I look at Buglioni, though I've been overly impressed with Frank, I think he's got more to give. He's got that amateur pedigree, that amateur background, the Repton. He's had bundles of fights. I think he's on another level as far as Mckenzie's now. I'm not saying Leon can't get to that stage, but I think he's a little bit off the pace at the minute.
Yeah, definitely a few more fights, maybe 3 or 4 more fights, and see where he's at. Definitely.
Well, he made an interesting switch recently as well, didn't he, Buglioni? After that defeat to Kamitsky, split with Mark Tibbs, has gone over to the Celtic Warrior Gym in Dublin with Pascal and Steve Collins.
But at the end of the day, this boxing career is a short career, and I'm sure Darren would tell you if you're not happy with your coach, then you need to go somewhere where you are happy. You know, my trainer he says to me, if you're not happy with me, then go elsewhere, sort of thing.
Well, Leo Mckenzie and his father Clinton got a very close bond. I think one thing that boxing fans may not realise with Mckenzie as well is that they see that he was a professional footballer for 18 years, the majority of those at some big clubs. They probably think he's full-time, no expense spared with the training, the best of facilities, but it's not the case. He's living the life of a novice professional. The money from football, I'm afraid, is gone. He's working 4 days a week as a courier, 10-hour shifts, fitting it in around training like everybody else.
Leon's really been through it. He's really been through it, to be fair to him. He's had a bit of a spell with depression. I think he was in and out of jail after the football. Like, he's done well to come back from where he is, to be honest to him. At the end of the day, whatever.
Well, the noise at ringside between rounds, as I'm sure you can hear through your screens, is fairly deafening as we head into the third round of this fight, scheduled for 6 at super middleweight. Well, it's the second half of the fight. This one was actually made at 12 stone 2, so just above the super middleweight limit, but I don't think either of them would have had any problem in making 12 stone if they'd had to.
A very familiar face in the corner of Douglas, Peter Sims, Tony's brother. He was in majority of my corners, and notably when I won the world title, he was in there. That's one thing, you come to York Hall, you see a lot of familiar faces, that's for sure.
Well, Jimmy Tibbs is here as well. I had a quick chat with him backstage earlier on. He's going to be in Johnny Garton's corner later for that Southern Area title fight at welterweight. Garton trained by Alan Smith down at the iBox. They had Bradley Skeeton, of course, against Frankie Gavin a couple of weeks ago.
So about Peter Sims, he is a familiar face. He's been in the opposite corner to me 4 times.
Yeah, we'd always bet against you, Dan.
I know.
Mckenzie just trying to back Douglas back up onto the ropes here and get to work with that backhand if he can. Douglas, I think, was hurt on one occasion in that last round, but managed to cover up and stay out of trouble for the rest of the round. Good movement there from Mckenzie just to avoid those punches.
I think Douglas has taken a couple of Mckenzie's best shots. He's found a bit of confidence from Summer, I think. You know, he's coming forward a little bit. I think he's felt the best that Mckenzie's got to offer, and he's buzzing off of that a bit. You see, he's got a bit of a spring in his step, letting his own punches go now.
Well, as I said, his career of 4 fights so far has been split into 2. A gap of 5 years between the first 2 and the second 2. Slightly unusual to pick up consecutive draws as Mckenzie just tries to whip that left hand up between the guard if he can. Feet coming together there, always an occupational hazard when you've got an orthodox fighter against a southpaw. Mckenzie just busy with the jab. It's a nuisance more than anything else. No great power behind it, just keeping him at bay. Referee just having a quick word about the coming together of heads.
This is the problem when you've got no amateur background and you're relatively new to the sport. You run out of ideas. He boxed well in the first couple of rounds, hurt his opponent, hurt Douglas a couple of times, but he's still learning the sport. He's relatively new to it, so you can run out of ideas when it's not going your own way. But these are all learning experiences he's going to have to come across.
Mckenzie just warned there by the referee for pushing Douglas back. He maybe caught a slightly low punch there just before that from Douglas. into the 4th round. This scheduled for 6 at super middleweight. Mckenzie, Leon Mckenzie in the gold and red shorts. Scott Douglas in the yellow and black. He said to me when I went to see him in the gym, Darren, that he struggled when he retired from football. He found it difficult, found retirement a difficult thing before he turned over into boxing. You're a year on now from your last fight as a pro, and they always say the first years are hardest. How's it been?
It's been really well. It's been nice waking up in the morning, not in agony. You know, I was talking to Eddie last weekend at the prize fighter show, and he goes, he's never come across a happier retired fighter than me. But it's true, you know, I achieved everything I wanted to in the sport and more. And I suffered, you know, it's well documented, I suffered with injuries, and that was it, you know. I'm happily retired. I'd like to say I've achieved what I've achieved, and I wake up with a smile on my face.
Do you think in a sense, possibly it might be a little bit easier for you, given that the injury problems mean that you really can't fight again? The temptation might not be there as it is for others. A
little bit. I mean, like anyone, I struggled through injuries for years, so I mean, I probably could have persevered if I really had to, but I think it was more the case I'd achieved my ultimate goal, and once I'd done that, I lost a little bit of hunger. I'm honest enough to say that. I think certain people are born warriors and born fighters. I don't think I was. I think I was, you know, quite good at it, and I carried on going, and I just wanted to win a world title.
Douglas just tried to unload on Mckenzie on the ropes. Mckenzie just prior to that had switched into orthodoxy, caught a right hand there. Mckenzie, the uppercut got through the guard and snapped back the head. A shake of the head to try and suggest it didn't hurt, but the one thing you can always assume when you see a fighter shake his head is that he has felt it. Interesting round this. Douglas just trying to put the pressure on Mckenzie here. As you said, Darren, I think he has grown in confidence a bit. He's getting a bit more brave in there now.
It's a good round, best round of the fight so far. Like, yeah, Douglas definitely found some confidence. He's taking Mckenzie's best shots, and he's coming back for more, trying to land his own.
No, he's not landing a great deal, Douglas, but he's definitely trying more. It's like you said, he's obviously seen what Leon's got to offer, and he's not too fussed, not too bothered about it, and he's pottering forward and he's trying to have a go. Not hitting a lot, but like I said, he's definitely trying.
Mckenzie with the right hand, just a cuffing right hand. Catches Douglas around the side of the head, no great effect. Trying to put his punches together now. Nice left hand there, straight down the middle. Went through the guard. Again, Douglas so took it.
It's that jab that's been the difference. It's like I said, it's not even a big banging jab. It's just a keep busy jab. He's keeping him busy and keeping him occupied with that right hand jab. Just touching him, moving, and setting everything up off of it.
This was a stage where Douglas managed to back Mckenzie up onto the ropes and try and get to work. He's got those elbows tucked in nice and low though, nice and tight to the body. And after a little bit of a scratchy beginning, Douglas is coming more into this fight. Sense of urgency in the corner there from Clinton Mckenzie. Well, you can actually feel York Hall vibrating underneath our feet between rounds. The sound system is really being tested out to the limit tonight, I can tell you that. Mckenzie comes forward onto that front foot as soon as the 5th round starts. And again, they trade punches. Douglas happier now really to hold his ground and try and hold centre ring a little bit more, and catches Mckenzie with a left hand as Mckenzie trying to come in himself.
Leo just walking him onto that backhand, making him miss and countering, which is what he wants to do, what he needs to do.
And this is the right distance for Mckenzie. He's got Douglas here at the range that he wants him. Looking to try and let that left hand go if he can, sticking out the chin, just trying to draw a lead. Douglas isn't falling for that.
Obviously feeling a bit confident, feeling comfortable. expressing himself a bit, but like you said, it's not needed. He's winning the fight quite easily.
They've both thrown a lot of punches. They both look fit. I know it's the 5th round, but they both look fresh. I'd like to see Mckenzie step it up a little bit now. I think Douglas has given his best. I think Leon's got a little bit more there he can bring out.
He's sort of pot shotting a bit, Leon. I'd like to see him throwing a few more combinations.
That's it, put them together. But I'd work off of the jab, like you said earlier. His jabs, he's got a lovely southpaw jab. It's quick. I'd move up and down with a jab and then work away, let the combinations go.
Even when he's pouring with it, it's sort of finding its range and catching Douglas.
Got away a good right hand there, Mckenzie, and then just went for a little walk. Douglas just trying to back him up into the corner. That was a good stiff left hand. He does like a fight, Mckenzie. He was telling me that he knows one of his weaknesses is that he can be drawn into a scrap.
Landed a few southpaw left hands there. It was a good shot straight down the middle. But again, they're not troubling Douglas. And he's still plodding forward, trying to get his own shots off.
It's a good weight to those left hands, as you say, though. He's got that card up for the most part, but he's caught with one again there, and I think they are beginning to have a cumulative effect. Punching through the target nicely in this round, Mckenzie. So even though they are taking on the gloves, some of them, still feeling them. A little bit of a marking up underneath the right eye for Douglas, whose legs...
He's just having a bit of a rest now, isn't he, Leon? He's nicked the early part of the round. He's having a bit of a rest, taking a bit of time off. I think he feels quite comfortable here. That jab and that backhand's done the damage for this round. Like you said,
good
that
shot.
Backhand again, just keeps catching him with that every time. Douglas is walking straight onto it.
Well, Mckenzie has scored 2 stoppage wins in his career so far. Got one more round in this 6th round fight to see if he can register another one. Nice chopping right hand there before he just turned around and had a little bit of a walk, a slight rest. The final round between these two, and it's been an enjoyable fight so far. It's warmed up as it's gone along, really. Mckenzie made a good start, and Douglas has come more into it in the last couple of rounds, more willing to engage anyway. Most of the best action we saw in the 3 minutes we've just had.
Douglas knows he's behind in the fight. He's coming forward, trying to force a stoppage or a knockout. He's way behind on the cards, but it's nice to see. It's refreshing to see he's coming forward. He's coming to win.
Do you know what? It's just he wants to watch what he, wants to watch how gung ho he is. Coming forward in an educated fashion is one thing, but coming forward with your hands down and being crazy is another thing. Especially with a sharpshooter like Mckenzie. He's not a massive banger, but if you get caught enough with the same shot on the same spot, then you're going to go over. It's a recipe for disaster sort of thing. He's squared himself up, Douglas, there. Got caught there with a good shot.
Got caught with another glancing right hand there as well, and as you say, he's really pouring it out here, putting every ounce of effort into this that he's got. As we head into the final 2 minutes, good solid body shots there, a slight dip of the knees from Douglas. The referee warns him hitting around the back of the head, and that break might have come at exactly the right time for Douglas, who though cops another left hand there. He's throwing back all the time, but this really now is just a toe-to-toe trade-off. Mckenzie managing to catch most of those on the gloves. Throws back with the left hand.
Good work to the body.
Leon's really, he's taking control of this, even on the ropes, which is somewhere a fighter don't usually want to be. He's looking comfortable there. He's soaking the shots up on the gloves. He's not really taking a great deal. And now, he's really doing as he pleases. He's pushing him back behind the jab and then letting that big backhand go when he feels like it. Got caught there, made me eat my words.
Got caught with a left and then a right hand. Mckenzie tries to fire back a left of his own, and they're both looking a little bit weary in there at times now, but Douglas still constantly coming forward, really making a fight of this. Bundles Mckenzie back into the ropes. Into the last 20 seconds or so of this 6th rounder at super middleweight. As I mentioned at the very start, Mckenzie will be fighting for a Masters title here on March the 14th. Fires back with a left. Bell coming up any second now, and York Hall, I think, will show their appreciation for both of these two, because this has been, particularly in the last 2 or 3 fights, a really, really entertaining fight. Leon Mckenzie and Scott Douglas have put absolutely everything into that, and as the boys have been saying, it's great to see Douglas really come to fight. He wasn't expected to win that fight. I'm pretty sure he hasn't won that fight, but he played a big, big part, and the crowd here have really, really enjoyed it. What have you seen there, Darren, from Leon Mckenzie that suggests to you maybe how far he could go?
Well, I mean, it was a good fight from another learning fight. He didn't have it his own way there, so you learn from that. If you're going out there, knocking everyone out, winning fights easily, having it your own way, how are you expecting to learn? Douglas there caused him a bits of trouble, backing him on the ropes, letting some shots go. So it's good for Mckenzie to experience, being on the back foot, not having it his own way. Bad experiences, if you can learn from them, invaluable experiences that will help you in the future. And it's a good win for him.
Well, let's get the decision now. Here's the MC, Brett Freeman.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, our referee, Rob Shoulder, scores this bout 60-54. For your winner, fighting out of the red corner, Leon Mckenzie.
Well, Leon Mckenzie gets every round on the referee's scorecard, which maybe doesn't do complete justice to Scott Douglas there, because he put a lot into that. You can maybe have given him a share of a round there, I think. But onwards and upwards for Leon Mckenzie, posing for photographs there with his father Clinton. Nice little gym they've got, actually, just off the tunnel at Dulwich Hamlets FC. Nice small space that they trade in. And he's certainly dedicated, as you say, Danny.
Yeah, he is. He lives a life. Boxing is his life, It's his new passion. Like I said, he's got other things going on outside the ring. I know he's big with the helping people suffering with depression, which is something that he's been through himself. And good performance there, and he won it outright. Well done.
Well, Leon's now heading down to ringside, where he'll be talking to Sophia.
Leon, congratulations on remaining unbeaten in your 6th pro fight. How do you find that performance?
Yeah, I boxed well. He was tough, to be fair to him. He came to fight. It's my second 6 rounds. Still learning, still growing, but the main thing is I'm not getting outboxed,
It was quite a toe-to-toe scrap at times. What do you learn from a fight like that?
Sometimes it's a bit risky. I like to fight sometimes. I don't always like to box, so sometimes I try and mix it up. And obviously sometimes it's a fight, but I can fight, I can box. It's just, again, it's just about building and growing. I'm throwing a lot of combinations, and I won that comfortably. So.
You've had a few niggling injuries since your last fight in May. Are you well past that now?
Yeah, just my hand. I hurt my hand last fight, May 17th, on my birthday, and I just hurt all my ligaments, and that's it. Yeah, I just had to sort of.
You use your jab effectively, so it didn't seem to bother you too much.
No, as I say, 7 months. 7 months I've been at the ring. I think that's a good performance to come back on a 7-month layoff.
You're poised to fight for your first title in March. Yeah. So 2015 could be quite a big year for you.
Yeah, massive. Again, it's everything I've dreamed for, and this next fight is if I win that puts me mandatory for a Southern area, and I can't complain if that. I want to win a couple of belts, and then that's me.
it's your first fight under the Goodwin Promotions. So you're hoping to carve like a really good, successful relationship with them.
Yeah, 100%. Like I say, it was a nice platform today to be on a Matchroom Pass, and hopefully I proved that Leon Mckenzie just ain't a footballer. So
Well, I think you proved that tonight. Thanks a lot for talking.